Hi guys, it's Emily from Noble Novels and welcome to today's video. This is the mid-year freak out tag. Now I'm filming it on the 19th of June, so a little bit before the end of June, and end of June is technically the mid-year, but I'm thinking it's pretty darn close. I'm trying to pre-film because obviously I want to get as many videos done as I can before we go on holiday and before the summer holidays. So you are going to have, so see as we're talking about mid-year, you've still got my favourites of the year to come out yet. What other videos are coming up in June? I don't know if you were aware of them. Pardon me, that's all. We've got the favourite books of the year, I've got book tags, I've got some bookshelf tours, I've got some nice easy things coming up. And then already in August, I've got tags planned. Hang on a minute, let's see if I can find out where my August thing is. And I can't find it, but yeah, we have got some good fun videos coming up. And my brain is literally gone gaga at the moment. Give up, I'll find it soon. This is we're coming up to the middle of the year already. The sun is out. I nearly filmed today outside, but I decided because the lighting's not 100%, I thought I'd still try and film inside. You can see I've got a little bit of a summery dress on. I'm trying to be summery. But what a first half of the year it's been. I am so looking forward to filming my favourites of the year so far. I don't have a clue. I was thinking like, every month I write down on my book journal, like the books, the favourites of the month. I put an F on all the codes. But this year I can already tell that some of the books that I put as Fs, as favourites, are not favourites. And there's some books that I didn't put as favourites that have stuck in my memory and are going on my favourites. So most years, it would have been an easy top 10. I think this year is going to be a lot harder to think about my favourite of the year. But I will go with the prompts and I will tell you the book that has stood out to me as a favourite of the year. And I think for me it wasn't a confirmed favourite until recently, but it's been a book that, yeah. Here we go. So anyway, this is the prompts. The mid-year freak out tag was created years ago by Ariel Bassett, I think, but she's not on BookTube anymore. These are the prompts we do every year. It's a go-to book. It's not a tag that I do that we tag other people in, because if you want to do it, you do it. You do it in June, July, people tend to do it, and I don't know when they're all going to start to come out. But here we go. Yeah, you can easily find the prompts. I won't write them down because, yeah, soon enough you'll all find out that, yeah, things have been a bit crazy down this end. But best books, so prompt number 1 is best book you've read so far this year. So you're already, if you're watching this, you're going to know what's going to be books going on my best books of the year so far. It is Brotherless Night by V.V. Ganeshan. I can't say the name. It won the Women's Prize. I got, my copy of it is from when it was shortlisted. I actually got it from the library and read it when it was longlisted, and it was my favourite book when it was longlisted. So the fact that it got shortlisted and then won, it was well and truly, in my eyes, the deserving winner of the whole prize. It was my favourite book. I was hoping this would win. I did also like Soldier Sailor. I liked a few of the other books that were on the shortlist, and some of the books that didn't get on the shortlist. But this was by far the winner, and it deserved to be. It is historical fiction. It's set, obviously, at a time of war, and 16-year-old Sashi wants to become a doctor. Over the next decade, as a vicious civil war tears through her hometown of Jaffna, her dream spins off course as she sees those around her, including her 4 beloved brothers and their best friend, get swept up into violent political ideologies. This book could answer a couple of the other prompts because, I'll keep it here. But if you haven't read it, why not? If you like historical fiction, if you like books that will destroy you, it is an amazing book and it deserved the Women's Prize, so please pick this up. It is an incredible book. New release you haven't read yet but want to. Those of you that have been on my channel a while know that I buy books pretty darn quickly when they come out. Do I get to read them straight away? No. Do I need to read them straight away? Yes. Again, I have multiple answers. You'll know this with me. I do not just give one answer. You would have already seen on my book haul that the lovely Angela from Reading Off My Shelf got me the Shadow Cabinet as a birthday present that I got in June, because she waited for it to come out in a paperback, and she got me my paperback copy which matches Her Majesty's Royal Coven. This is a new release in paperback, but it's still a new release, and It's one I'm desperate to read, although I'm scared to because I know it's going to be a long time before we get the third book out, because apparently the author's struggling to decide. Apparently we've got the prequel out, Queen Bee is coming out soon, but this is out, and if you don't want to know the ending to Her Majesty's Royal Coven, wait until this book goes down before you carry on. Before you put it back on. Press mute until the book goes down. Okay, so here we go. Here's the spoiler. At the back of the book it says, "All is not as it seems within the halls of Her Majesty's Royal Coven. Niamh Kelly is dead. Her troubled twin Kyra now masquerades as the benevolent witch, and as Her Majesty's Royal Coven prepares to crown her the High Priestess." That was a twist at the end of the book that made me desperate for this one, so it won't be kept unread for long. But on the other end of the continent, Leonie Jackman is in search of Hale, rumoured to be seeking out a dark object of ultimate power, somehow connected to the upper echelons of the British government. The witches can't figure out Hale's machinations and fast, all of which kind will be in grave danger, along with the fate of womankind. Paybacks of which, as Chiara, Leonie, Theo, and Holly are about to find out. Dun, dun, dun. I can't wait to read that. Another one is The Women by Kristin Hannah. You all know that I love Kristin Hannah. I think this was a book. Yeah, this was a book that was gifted to me by my lovely friend Ange as a birthday present. It also counts as another prompt because it's like the prettiest book. But look at that. Look at the stunning. It is absolutely stunning. I love the end pages. I am really in love with this book. I know what scares me is how much I love it. But it is Kristin Hannah's new book. I love all of Kristin Hannah's books. This one is set in I think in the Vietnam War. Women can be heroes when 20-year-old nursing student Frankie McGrath hears of the unexpected words. It's a revelation. Raised on California's idyllic Coronado Island and sheltered from her conservative parents, she has always prided herself in doing the right thing, being the good girl. But in 1965, the world is changing, and she suddenly imagines a different path for life. When her brother ships out to serve in Vietnam, she impulsively joins the Army Nurses Corps and follows his path. Apparently it's going to destroy me. Do I read this in August? Let me know, by the way, guys, if you think I should read this. This is going to get read in August or September because it is mahoosive, but I am so desperate to read it because I know it'll be a favourite. I know that it's got to be read. That also counts as a book that's got to be read by the end of the year because it is that exciting. So those are two books that are new out this year, and I'm desperate to read them. So the next one, best sequel you've read so far this year. I've not got my copy of it because it is too flipping chunky to carry. I've bought my physical copies of all the other books. But I've actually, again, got two answers to this. First, and I've not brought either of them down. First one is Atlas, The Story of Parcel, which is the last book in that series, the Seven Sisters series. It was written by Lucinda Riley, but it was also co-written in the end by her son, Harry Whittaker. And it was an amazing book. It tied up all of the ends that I needed to tie up. It did destroy me. It was incredible. And I loved it. You all know that probably, I'm still trying to decide if it can go on my favourites because it is a series book and I don't normally put my series books on the favourites. But the other series book that counts, it's not a direct sequel. I think it's like third in the series. And that is Mark of Athena by Rick Riordan. It's the third in the Heroes of Olympus series. I've just read it. It was amazing. Again, it did exactly what Her Majesty's Royal Coven did. It left me on a cliffhanger. But the good thing is, with that cliffhanger, I've got the book to read in July. So, as you would have already been seeing, I'm going to be reading that book in July. So, yeah, those are the two favourite sequels. They are absolutely incredible. Thoroughly, thoroughly love them. Right, but prompt number 4. Most anticipated release for the second half of the year. I am counting this as anything that's released from the 1st of July onwards. Now, I've got a lot of books that I know that are coming out in August. And there's one book coming out in July. Sorry. And I think I've got one in September that's coming out. So I don't know a huge amount of new releases that are coming out in the second half of the year. So I need people to tell me what's coming out. Because all the good books come out at the start of the year. I want to know what's coming out before the end. But the first one is a book that's obviously dear to my heart, and that's going to be The Trouble with Montgomery Hurst by Katie Lumsden. That's coming out on July the 18th, and I'm, fingers crossed, I'll be going to the event. By the time this video goes live, I think it's around about that time. So that's coming out. I will be getting Katie's book. I will be reading it very quickly. It's Katie's book. You just have to get it. I know it's going to be a favourite. Again, it's another one it's going to be a favourite for the year. The next one is Amari and the Despicable, and that is out on August the 29th. It's out in hardback. So my plan is, because again, the second Amari brother book left on a cliffhanger, my plan is I'm going to read it, because I know that my library will get it in hardback. I'm going to read it in hardback from the library and then get my own paperback edition when it comes in paperback. So I'm going to kind of cheat on that, because I know that I'm really desperate for it. And I don't want to buy it in hardback because I've got the other two in paperback. And for me, you have to have them all in the same, whether it's hardback or paperback, I have to have all them all. Like, The Women, I've got a lot of Kristen Hanna's books in hardback, so I don't mind having that in hardback. Shadow Cabinet, I had the first one in paperback, so I had to have the second one. You're getting the gist. And then the next one that is definitely coming out on August the 15th, is Not for the Faint Heart by Lex Croucher. Love Lex Croucher. It's fantasy. I think this one, I can't remember. It's LGBTQI fantasy, romance, young adult. It's just going to be amazing. I will be getting it straight away. I cannot flipping wait. I am so goddamn excited. I know we've got an Elaine Everest one coming out. I know that there are other books coming out. I know that Elaine Everest's Christmassy ones, and we'll probably get some Christmas ones. I think that's another thing. I think, obviously, like Heidi Swain, she'll get a Christmas one. I know Kathy Brownley's got a new Christmas one coming out, and that's part of a series. So I have got all those ones coming out. But these are the ones that I have to just, Point number five, biggest disappointment. I'm not very good with disappointments, because I try not to think negatively. But for me, The Elegance of the Hedgehog. Because I know Charlie and a few other people have loved it, but I just didn't get on with it. I don't think it's the writing style. I think it's genuinely just me. I do not like literary fiction at all. Didn't get it, didn't understand it, did not grasp it. It went in one ear and out the other, and it was just a flop. I had a pretty copy, but it was a flop. Biggest surprise. I've got two books for this. First one is one that didn't get 5 stars, but I didn't even expect to like it, and that is A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson. Didn't get 5 stars, it got 4.5, but it's the first in the series, and it's my first thriller/mystery that I thoroughly loved in a long time. I'm not into thrillers at the moment. I like mysteries, but I'm not into thrillers, and I did not expect to love this. I was almost like wanting to try a chapter on it, because I didn't expect to love it, and I'd already got the second book. But it was left on a note where I had to buy the second and third book. I had to get the third book, and I really enjoyed it. So it's not a favourite of the year, but it was a surprise at how much I enjoyed it and how it made me get the next one. The next one is a sneaky peek to the favourites of the year, and that is Tomorrow, Tomorrow and Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin. Some of my friends thoroughly loved it. I read it for the Spoonies readathon, and it knocked my socks off. It is slightly literary fiction. It's not normally my jam. It's about like gaming and stuff like that, and I didn't think I loved it. I remember Katie from Books and Things absolutely loved it, and she read it for the readathon as well, and I loved it. Angela didn't like it, but that's fine. But I know last year it was some of my friends from last year's favourite book, and it really is. I know that Gabrielle Zevin has written some YA books, but has she written any other adult books? Can you let me know in the comments down below? But yeah, I thoroughly loved this. I did not expect to love it. It's going on my favourites. It was an incredible book, and one that knocked my socks off. It is about friendship, and it's about love, but love in a different way, and I like the way that love had a twist on this. And it's not the kind of love story you expect, but it's just an incredible written book. It has got great, amazing disability rep in it, and I think it's one that I'm very impressed by. But yeah. Favourite new author, debut or new to you? One of them has got to be Julia Quinn, because obviously the Bridgerton books, and I love the Queen Charlotte book as well. But I wanted to do one. None of these authors are new out authors. I think, yeah. But an author that I've read quite a lot of this year, and it is a lot of my friends' favourite author. But it's new to me as in the fact that I've only read, last year I only read one book by the author and I enjoyed it. That's Agatha Christie. A lot of my good friends love Agatha Christie. You know who you are. Yes, she is now a favourite author for me. This was my first mystery, but my first Marple book that I loved. I liked Poirot. I've read a standalone. This was absolutely incredible. It's my first Marple, and this is A Murder is Announced. But Agatha Christie, I will be collecting all of Agatha Christie's books, and I'll gradually read them. And I'll make you guys proud of me, the ones that you love Agatha Christie. I'll make you proud of me. But yeah, I love Agatha Christie. Newest fictional crush. I'm not very good at this because I can't remember characters. I read so many different books. But one that I did like, and that is Barber Knox in Things We Never Got Over. He is a proper bad boy turned good, and it's my kind of, like, he likes to live his life on his own way, and then a woman walks into his life, and the other character of this, Naomi, isn't just running away from her wedding, she's running to the rescue of her estranged twin. And it's a romance, it's an American book, it was a series, I read it for the spring books. I've got to get the second in the series because I want to read the second and the third. Thoroughly loved it. Sexy bad boy, I've got a thing about sexy bad boys. You need to know that, but there you go. Newest favourite character. That was an easy answer. Penelope Featherington from Romancing Mr. Bridgerton. It's the 4th book in the series, but the 3rd in the TV series. I've read the next one, which is Elodie's story. I've got to carry on reading. I've got to think Francesca's story is next. But for me, Penelope Featherington, if you've watched the TV series, I can't obviously give out spoilers for the end of the book. But I've always loved Penelope Featherington. But I think for me, reading the book made me love her even more. Because in the book, she's even portrayed even better than she is on the TV series. And she's a strong woman. She's curvy, so she's proud of her body. She is someone that she sits back and watches the world. And I think she falls in love with her best friend. And it's a great character. I love the way she writes. I love the fact she likes books. I love the way she sits back and observes everyone. Just be the centre of it, to know, observe. And as Lazy Whistledown, she's amazing. She fights her own battles, so I love her. Right, here we go. Prop number 10, book that made you cry. Well, obviously, Brotherless Night. I had to stop reading because I was sobbing. But the other one is Under the Whispering Door. This is going on. I think you got like 3 books going on my favourites for the year. This one absolutely destroyed me into a million billion pieces. It is very much about death, and you need to be aware that when you go into this, it's fantasy. So there are moments where, again, it made me happy. It did make me laugh at points, and there are some characters in this that made me laugh. But it did destroy me. It destroyed me in every which way, and oh my god. I can't read it again for a while. I don't know when I'll be able to read it. Welcome to Charon's Crossing. The tea is hot and scones fresh and the dead are just passing through. I loved House in the Cerulean Sea, so the fact that this one again did it to me, it literally destroyed me. It is basically about death and about the fact that one guy, he basically finds himself in death. Like when he's waiting to go over to the other side, be it heaven, whatever, it doesn't talk about religious dominations. But the guy ends up finding himself while he's waiting over there. He goes like to this place, like this peculiar tea shop, and Hugo is going to promise to help him cross over. And Wallace reluctantly agrees to find out the truth. Yet even in death, he refuses to abandon his life, despite spending all of it working. But as Wallace grows closer to Hugo and shares jokes with his resident ghost, he wonders if he's missed something, and it's amazing. LGBTI, fantasy, just a mix of everything, but it will destroy you. So yeah, absolutely loved it. But that made you happy. Second in this Kiss Curse, I read the XX last year, loved it. Read the Kiss Curse this year with Cat from Brews and Reviews. Second in the series, there is witchy stuff, so again it's fantasy, but there are bits in this where I flipping laugh my head off, and this is the one that makes me laugh. And the XX again, they both made me absolutely laugh my head off, and I found them absolutely incredible. So this would totally and utterly go down as like a book that made you laugh, because it's fantasy and it's witchiness, but it's not scary. Like, it doesn't scare me, it just made me laugh. There were some creepy bits and some baddies, but this proper made me laugh and I absolutely loved it. Oh god, this is going to be fun putting them all away again. Book that, no, most beautiful book that you bought this year or received. So I decided to show one for each. But you all know I got amazing books. I've got some amazing books that I've got already, like I've bought recently. So, but the ones that I haven't, obviously I had to show Page Tunes The Seven Summers. It is stunning. I bought that and it's the beautiful pink sprayed edges. It's paperback. Normally paperbacks aren't stunning to me, but this with the sprayed edges and even like the end papers there, just absolutely stunning. But I did buy lots, so I think you all know I've got a million. And then again, I got given The Woman, so that could count because Ange got me that. But this is one, admittedly it kind of got a bit damaged a little bit at the start because we were out in the rain. And Chris bought me The Stormy Made by Vanessa Chan for my birthday present. It's a book that was recommended by the lovely, actually it's a beautiful book with a cover, but I'm realising it's not as beautiful as the other one, but I think the cover's beautiful. The Stormy Maid by Vanessa Chan. It's historical fiction, it's spellbinding, it's set in British Malaya in 1930 and then Japanese occupied Malaya in 1945. It's a very pretty book, very, very pretty, but like I said, and it's one historical fiction that I need to get to because we were hoping it would be on the Women's Prize, but it didn't get there. So those are some of the books that are my favourites. And then what books do you need to read by the end of the year? What books do I not? Pretty much all the ones I haven't read yet. So obviously The Women, The Shadow Cabinet, all of those could count. But I've got three. Two of them that are on my big books that are going to be read in the year, and then one that's not been wasn't put on my big books to read by the end of the year. But it's one that I'm desperate to read, and the fact that one is Clytemnestra by Constantana Castellani. She's got a new book out in hardback, Babylonia, but I want to read this before that, and it's Greek Goddess. It's Charlotte from Quinny Reads absolutely loved this. She was born to a king but marries a tyrant. Born to a king but marries a tyrant. She watches helplessly as he sacrifices her child to the gods. She bides her time. She plots her revenge. She knows how to play the game. If power will not be given to her, she will take it herself. She is Clytemnestra. Have to read this. It's on my list. It's on my shelves. Greek god, Greek mythology. Gotta get it. One, I think I'm reading this with Angela, hopefully. This is The Skeleton Key by Erin Kelly. This was recommended to me by, I'm pretty darn sure it was Kirsten at Reading Nymph recommended. It is supposed to be a bit literary, kind of like, what's it called? She reads it. Dark Academia. I think Kirsten said that it's Dark Academia, so I'm not sure if it's totally for me, but it's one that's on my list. One book, 50 years ago, Frank Churchill wrote the book that would make his family fortune and ruin their lives. The Golden Bones was written in as a fairy tale and a treasure map, but it quickly turned into a dangerous obsession for a cult of readers desperate to find their place in find the final piece in the puzzle. One family divided. The Churchills were torn apart by the fame that brought them, and after a terrifying attack, Frank's daughter Nell became a recluse. One deadly reunion. When the family reunited to mark the anniversary of the publication, Frank has one last surprise in store. It's finally time to reveal the location of the missing treasure, but some secrets are meant to stay buried. It is bloody big. It is 500 pages basically. Oh, it's got a... At the back of it, I believe it's got an extract to her latest book that came out this year, The Poison Tree. So, looking forward to that. And then last but not least, one of the biggest books on my shelf that I'm reading for my big books, my classics to read by the end of the year, I think, as well. And that is Gone with the Wind by Dudar. Everyone knows who that's written by. Gone with the Wind. It is one of the biggest books I own, so I think I'm reading it over 3 months. My copy of this is not the best copy, but Margaret Mitchell wrote Gone with the Wind. This copy is over 1,000 pages, 1,040 pages. It is the biggest book, one of the biggest books I own. It's not the biggest book now because I've got another big book. Massive, classic, one of the books I've been desperate to read. Have to read it, desperate to read it. It's fucking chunky. I'm scared by it, but it's on the list. Now, I'm trying to think. actually, I'm going to go with, because there's a red flower. I'm trying to think. Obviously, if you got to the end of this video, I would let me know what books are your favourites for the year, what books you've enjoyed, what books you think I should read. I think, because there are like red leaves and red flowers on this, I like the idea. I really like the pictures of the red roses. So if you got to the end of this video, can you leave me a red rose emoji? Because I love red roses, and I don't know why, but they're kind of, that would be a really cool, cute emoji. Talk to me in the comments. I love it when you talk to me in the comments. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, ring on my ding-a-ling, and I'll see you all soon. Bye bye.